Hi everybody, welcome to the Prescott Sunrise Lions Show presented by the Prescott Media Center at Prescott Armory. I am David A. Snyder, CPA, MBA, and EA with David A. Snyder, CPA. I'm a member of the Prescott Sunrise Lions. Please go to PrescottSunriseLionsClub.org to see the projects we participate in and come to our meeting every Thursday at 7 a.m. at Waffles and More. We are a fun group. We get together, but we serve the community. That's our purpose. We serve. We're coming up on tax credit season. In fact, we're really deep into it. Please provide your tax credits. Get your tax credits in. They really help you on the Arizona tax return, and they can help you. They at one time helped you on the federal return, and we're trying to see if that can revert to that. But here are the tax credits. There's a school tuition tax credit for $2,213, married filing jointly, and half of that for single, and that's for organizations like Primavera or Sacred Heart. So pay those groups, and that will take $2,213 off your Arizona tax bill. Public schools, PHS, Tri-City. Go to Tri-City, actually. My son's there. You can do 400 married filing jointly and 200 other statuses. There's also the foster care tax credit, which is $1,000 married filing jointly and $500 single or other statuses. And that helps the foster care. That would be like, I can't remember it. I'll come back to that. And then there's a charitable organization tax credit, which is $800 married filing jointly and $400 other services, other statuses. And that is something like the Lions Club. That's the Lions Club, or Big Brothers Big Sister. But go back to the Lions Club and utilize our tax credits, because we give to a lot of organizations in this community. People who care. We give to YEI, and we give a lot to Youth Vision Services for surgeries and eyeglasses for youth. We do a lot of things with Agape House. We do a lot of things with the Yavapai College, Yavapai College scholarships, C-Tech, all that kind of thing. We give a lot of money away. We don't keep any of it. We distribute it to the community organizations. And that used to be called the Working Poor Tax Credit. And we also had the Arizona Military Family Relief Fund tax credit, but that they have $1 million cap on that, and they've already reached that cap. In fact, they reached that cap sometime in September, because I gave mine in, and it came back to me because they couldn't take it after the cap. So, contribute to tax credits. Again, let's give you a scenario. If you owed $4,213 to the state of Arizona, and you paid all these tax credits in that included $4,213, you would owe nothing to the state, and you would get all your withholdings back. If you owed $2,000 and you paid in $4,213, then you would owe nothing to the state. You would carry forward the excess, the $2,213, up to 5 years, and you can use that up to 5 years later, and then you would get your withholdings back. So guess what? It's a no-brainer to do that. Would you rather give to the state of Arizona, where they wasted on what they want to waste it on, or would you rather give to charitable organizations that you can control and that you can monitor and make sure they do the right things, and then you can choose something else next year if you don't like it? So it's your choice. You give it to the state, or you give it to organizations that need it and can help people of the area. So please make that right choice. Okay. And they used to help you with the Fed too, but we're trying to get that back. I think there's going to be some litigation on that. All right, so our guest today is Sherm Scott of American Legion Post 6. Thank you for meeting with us.
It's
Sherm.
my pleasure.
I really appreciate you coming in. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Well, as you said, I'm Sherm Scott. I'm the current commander of Ernest A. Love Post 6 here in Prescott. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I served 9 years in the Navy, all aviation. The closest I ever came to a Navy boat was 100 feet straight up.
Thank you for your service.
I was proud to do it.
Yes. Okay.
And this is the second time I've been commander of the post.
Okay.
The first time was back in 2002. And I've been commander this time for 2 years now.
How many more years you got left?
As often as they elect me.
Okay.
We're pretty much revitalizing the post. A lot of things had fallen by the wayside, and few people thought that we should just be a bar.
Okay.
And we aren't. Well, this coming year, will be the 100th anniversary of the American Legion.
Okay.
It was chartered and incorporated by Congress in 1919 as a patriotic veterans organization devoted to mutual helpfulness.
Okay.
And it is the nation's largest wartime veterans organization. It's committed to mentoring youth and sponsorship of wholesome programs in our communities, advocating patriotism and honor, promoting strong national security, and continued devotion to our fellow service members and veterans.
It's a great purpose. I really appreciate you guys doing that. So you're a Vietnam vet for 9 years. What else did you do?
Well,
you were a Navy vet for 9 years and a Vietnam vet. Okay.
After I got out of the Navy, I went to college and got an American Studies degree and found out I could either be a politician or a teacher on that, and I couldn't lie very well, so I couldn't be a politician.
Or distort the Constitution, right?
And so I became a plumber.
Okay.
And I've been a plumber, I've been a mechanic, automobile mechanic, motorcycle mechanic. I've been a licensed fiduciary.
Oh, really?
And now I'm a greeter at Walmart.
All right.
And so welcome to Walmart.
That's really good.
And,
all right, so you were mostly in the trades, and you worked hard with that. Okay, that's great. You got any fundraising activities coming up?
We do, as a matter of fact. The American Legion, as I said, started in 1919, and I will get to the fundraising in just a second. But
Sure.
Being our 100th anniversary, we will be putting on May 11th an event for the entire public to help us celebrate the 100th anniversary.
Is it a big picnic or what?
It'll be a big picnic at Mountain Valley Park in Prescott Valley. The American Legion in this area, we're District 8 of the state of Arizona, and we're kind of divided by Mingus Mountain.
Okay, that makes sense.
Part of District 8 is over in the Verde Valley side, and the other part is on this side. And the posts here, we've all gotten together. We have 2 posts in Prescott Valley, Post 108 and 140. We have a post in Dewey Humboldt, and that's Post 78 up on the hill. You probably recognize it by seeing the cell phone towers up there. We've got a post in Chino Valley, Post 40, and a post in Cordis Lakes, a post in Crown King, in Yarnell, and in Baghdad. And the posts on this side of the mountain will be putting on a picnic with free food and free entertainment for the public at Mountain Valley Park on May 11th.
Terrific. And all those other posts are coming, or what?
All of those other posts are involved in it.
All right, that's great.
And
It's good to be
it's
centralized
kind of in
this area.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
It is a big
100th
deal.
Anniversary. Speaking of the 100th anniversary, Ernest A. Love Post Arizona number 2 of the American Legion was formed on June 25th, 1919. We were the second post to be formed in the state of Arizona. Somehow, in 1922, we became Post 6, and Tempe became Post 2, and I still have a problem with that. But
It's politics, isn't it?
yeah,
All those politicians you were talking about.
yeah, exactly. And but we will be also holding a celebration on June 25th or around June 25th to celebrate our 100th anniversary, and details to be promulgated later.
Okay. We might add that to our show next time, or when you give us the details.
Anyway, what the American Legion does, the programs and activities strengthen the nation one community at a time. The American Legion has supported Boy Scouts of America for 100 years, sponsoring more than 2,500 scouting units across the country.
Wow.
American Legion Baseball is one of the nation's most successful amateur athletic programs.
Is it a minor league?
It's basically for high school students.
Okay.
And
Just trying to figure it out.
You know, it educates young people about the importance of sportsmanship, citizenship, and fitness. Half of the American Legion players, or of the major league players, started out in American Legion baseball.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
And we also have the Operation Comfort Warriors, and it's a program that supports recovering wounded warriors and their families, providing them with comfort items to make their hospital stay a little bit more home-like.
Okay.
The Legion also raises millions of dollars in donations at the local, state, and national levels to help veterans and their families during times of need, and to provide college scholarship opportunities. And as I said, we are the top donor to the American Red Cross of blood.
I give a lot to blood too.
Yeah.
I've done platelets a bunch of 20 times, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When I was in Texas, because it was easy.
But not here.
Because they don't have a place here for that, to give platelets. They don't have a local place. I was in San Antonio for a couple of years, and they had a local place there.
Yeah.
To give
post 78.
I gave blood. I give blood. I just can't get platelets.
Yeah. Post 78 and Dewey Humboldt will be having a blood drive. I think this next week.
Can't do it. I just did it 2 weeks ago.
Well,
you got to do it within 60 days or 56 days.
Okay.
All right.
And one other thing that we have is the Child Welfare Foundation, where we award grants to other nonprofit organizations to educate the public about the needs of children across the nation. Since 1954, we've donated more than $15 million to deserving organizations that produce and distribute current and valuable information.
That foster care tax credit, do you work with the foster care tax credit or taxes, or do you work with foster care as part of the child welfare thing?
And I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to check.
Yeah. The tax credit for foster care is, I like to talk about CASA for Kids for that one. I just remembered that one when I had forgotten it earlier. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell me about a little bit more. So you give the children organizations for their welfare. Yeah, of course, our warriors, that's what would be primary, and our future warriors in the Boy Scouts, for example.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, there's a program of the American Legion that Ernest A. Love Post is quite active in and everything, called Boys State.
Okay.
And Boys State is a week-long camp. Ours is held up in Flagstaff at NAU, and it teaches the operation of our form of government.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was a graduate from Boys State.
Well, good for him.
Whether that's good or bad is that was started in 1934, I think it was, and has been going quite strong ever since.
I think you dispersed those funds at the American Legion last time, because my daughter went to the University of Arizona like 3 years ago for Girl State. So I think those
Yes.
funds were dispersed there for the girls. The meeting
Yes.
with the Girl State, for example, was there at your
Yes.
at your Legion
Yes,
hall.
it was.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we've
You sponsored
and the
that.
Girl State is an American Legion auxiliary program.
Okay.
It's just like Boys State,
Absolutely.
but it's for girls, and that's held in Tucson every year at the University of Arizona.
My awesome and beautiful daughter wants to be a politician, so she would be doing yeah. So
Okay. And as a matter of fact, November 10th of 1919 was the founding of the American Legion Auxiliary. So the auxiliary is coming up on 100 years this year also.
that's great.
And our unit of the auxiliary, Unit 6, has been around since 1921. This year they're offering 3 college scholarships also to graduating high school seniors.
That's excellent.
And
Now, what does scholarships entail? Is it $1,000 or $2,000, or is it the full ride, or what?
I think they're 3 $1,500 scholarships.
Okay.
And speaking of scholarships, the Ernest A. Love Post 6 has a scholarship that it gives out, a $1,500 scholarship.
That's great.
In addition to that,
So what is the scholarship for? What
it's for if you apply for it and get chosen, you get
Okay.
$1,500.
All
That's
right.
what it's for.
All right. I didn't know if it was for a specific vocation or whatever.
No, it's not. But there is one that is for a specific vocation. In 1995, Ernest A. Love Post 6 formed their Honor Guard Color Guard. Since then, we've performed literally thousands of military honors for deceased veterans. We've participated in numerous parades. Every year, we used to lead the 4th of July parade, now called the Prescott Frontier Days Rodeo Parade, and it's gotten less patriotic and more rodeo. Our first bugler was a gentleman by the name of Rosie Ross. I don't know how many people out there will remember who Rosie Ross was. He used to play with Tandy at, was it called Pinion Pine? Pine Cone Inn, thank you.
I know the person that owned that for a long time.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Twig, or his family. And,
So
Rosie was our first bugler. He was also Ike Eisenhower's bugler during World War II.
All right.
And our honor guard decided that we would have a Rosie Ross scholarship for anyone willing to enter music, and that is also a $1,500 scholarship. What else can I tell you here?
Current and future projects.
Yeah, well, one of the other things that the American Legion does is a thing called the American Legion Law Enforcement Career Academy.
Okay.
Any high school student that is interested in law enforcement as a career, it would behoove them to apply for that academy. It's a week-long camp that is free to the student, and it is held here in Prescott at Emmanuel Pines every summer. And so, along with Boys State up in Flagstaff, Ernest A. Love Post 6 generally sends 6 boys to that. Auxiliary Unit 6 generally sends 2 or 3 girls to the Girls State in Tucson, and we try to send at least one student to the ALECA program, the American Legion Law Enforcement Career Academy, every year.
That's
also
really important and cool too.
The auxiliary also wants me to mention that they have a Christmas charity program that provides gifts and food to needy veterans' families and to veterans in the care facilities in the area. And the auxiliary members are the wives, mothers, sisters, daughters, grandmothers, and granddaughters of wartime veterans. So a lot of people are eligible to become auxiliary members.
That's great.
We've also got
So join the American Legion Auxiliary if you can,
Or
the
the
American,
American
Legion.
or if you're not eligible, was your dad or your mother or your grandmother?
My grandfather was in World War
veteran?
II, yeah. Plus, I was in the military myself.
Yeah.
But
Well, as your grandfather being in World War II, that makes you eligible to be sons of the American Legion member. In 1932, the American Legion, all the World War I vets were basically dying. And we didn't want to lose the American Legion because the
Probably-
American Legion had done so many good things on behalf of veterans. The reason we have a Department of Veterans Affairs is because of the American Legion. The founders of the American Legion felt it very important that veterans be represented
I agree.
in government. And,
Yeah, I agree.
And they pushed for it.
But because of them,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have the government. We wouldn't have anything.
Yeah, but by the early 1930s, like I said, everybody was dying. So they decided that to keep this organization going, they'd create the Sons of the American Legion.
Okay.
And in 1932, that was formed. Our Sons of the American Legion Squadron 6 was formed in 1937. And of course, now we're in a position where we've got veterans eligible to be American Legion members and stuff. But I'm every bit as proud of my father's service as I am of my own, so I'm a dual member.
All right.
And I'm also a member of the American Legion Riders, and that was formed in 1998.
And what do they do?
And they're motorcycle riders,
Mm-hmm.
and they're composed of Legion family members. You can auxiliary, Sons of the American Legion, and American Legion. In addition to having fun rides, we also raise money for Charlie Company, our local National Guard unit, and for the post and for veterans and children. And last year, ALR 6 donated 18,175 hours to community service and nearly $9,000 to veterans and charitable causes.
That's excellent.
And our meetings, ALR meetings are the first Thursday of every month at Post 6, and we serve dinner from 4 to 6, and the meetings start at 6:30. And in 2005, the American Legion Riders in Mulvane, Kansas formed the Patriot Guard to shelter and protect the deceased families against protesters at funerals.
Oh my God.
The
I would be
Patriot
enraged.
The Patriot Guard Riders provides flag lines for funerals and memorial services for deceased veterans, active duty, and first responders. And subject to availability of road guards and weather conditions, the PGR also provides state-certified motorcycles for funeral escorts at no cost to the family. And anyone can join the PGR. You don't have to be a Legion family member or anything to join the PGR. It's that important to us that we feel all citizens should be able to stand up for our veterans and our first responders when needed.
Absolutely. That's great, Sherm. I really appreciate you talking about the American Legion.
Well,
Thank you for coming.
certainly.
And we are the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club, and we would like to invite you to the club meeting, which is held at Waffles and More at 7 a.m. every Thursday. You'll find that our club is friendly and fun, but also very engaged in the Prescott and Prescott Valley communities. It's pretty much the Tri-City area. We joke and laugh and fully understand our purpose in the community we serve. If you want to be part of such a group, then become a member of the club. Remember, 7 a.m. every Thursday, Waffles and More. I had my meeting today. Today's Thursday. We had our meeting today, and we had a bunch of people there. And I want to thank the Prescott Media Center, Jim, Linda, Emma, for helping us with this program today. And again, thank you, Sherm Scott of the Prescott American Legion, for joining us and talking about your organization. I was really interesting, and I'm glad you came in today. Thank you very much.
And have I told you about Sergeant Stubby?
No, who's Sergeant Stubby?
Well, Stubby showed up, was an orphan that showed up at Yale Camp in 1917 while the 102nd Infantry was drilling.
Okay.
And he sat there and watched and learned the maneuvers, learned how to salute and everything. And when the 102nd shipped off with the Yankee division to France, he was stowed aboard in a coal bin.
That's great.
The commander of the 102nd discovered him upon arrival to France and was going to send him back, but Stubby saluted. And so they decided they'd keep him as a mascot.
That's funny.
Stubby went through 17 battles with the 102nd, was wounded twice, learned to warn the troops of incoming mustard gas attacks and incoming
really
artillery attacks, and single-handedly captured a German spy.
Wow.
He held him by the seat of his pants until other troops could arrive and take him into custody. For that, he became the first animal to
American Legion?
to earn rank in the U.S. military.
Oh.
Sergeant Stubby was a lifetime Legion member.
Absolutely. That's the way it should be. Thank you very much.